Everyone in Black Ridge knew the house at the end of Halcyon Road. Not because it was the oldest, not because it was the biggest, but because no one who ever truly loved inside it walked away unchanged. Lena first noticed the house on a rainy afternoon, the kind where the sky seemed to press down on your shoulders. She had just moved to Black Ridge after her mother's job relocated them, and everything felt unfamiliar, except that house. It stood still while everything else seemed to blur. Dark ivy strangled its brick walls, its windows dim like tired eyes. Yet something about it called to her, not loudly, not urgently, but like a whisper you couldn't quite ignore. And standing at its gate was him, Elias. He didn't wave, didn't smile, just watched her as if he'd been expecting her. They met the next day, and the day after that. It happened naturally, like gravity pulling things together. Elias wasn't like anyone Lena had known. He spoke softly, like every word had weight. He noticed things others ignored, the way the wind shifted before rain, the rhythm of footsteps, the quiet between conversations. "You don't belong here either," he said once, not as a question. Lena didn't ask how he knew, because somehow she felt it too. Weeks turned into something deeper. They began meeting at the house. Not inside, never inside. Elias always stopped at the door. "Not yet," he would say. "Why not?" Lena asked, half teasing. His expression darkened just for a moment. "Because once you enter, things change." "That sounds dramatic." "It's honest." She laughed it off, but part of her wondered. Black Ridge had its stories. Every town does, but this one lingered. "They say the house traps love," Lena's classmate whispered during lunch. "Like it feeds on it." "That's ridiculous." "Is it? A couple lived there years ago, completely obsessed with each other. Then, one day," the girl hesitated, "only one of them came out." "What happened to the other?" "No one knows." Lena rolled her eyes, but the story clung to her thoughts longer than she expected. Elias grew quieter as autumn deepened. Sometimes Lena would catch him staring at the house, not like he feared it, but like he feared what it meant. "You're hiding something," she said one evening. The air was colder than usual, the kind that made your breath visible. Elias didn't deny it. "Would it matter if I was?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I care about you." That seemed to reach him. He looked at her then, really looked, like he was trying to memorize her. "That's exactly why it matters," he said softly. The night everything changed. The sky was unnaturally clear. No clouds, no wind, just silence. Elias was waiting at the door. This time it was open. Lena stopped a few steps away. "You said not yet." "I know." "Then why now?" He hesitated. Then, "Because I can't stop it anymore." "Stop what?" Elias swallowed. "What happens when someone falls in love with me?" Lena frowned. "That's not funny." "I'm not joking." Something in his voice made her chest tighten. "Then explain." He stepped aside, gesturing toward the darkness inside. "It's the house," he said. "Or maybe it's me. I don't know anymore. But every time I let someone get close, every time they love me," his voice dropped, "the house takes them." Lena's stomach twisted. "That's not possible." "I've tried leaving. It doesn't work. It follows me, or I'm tied to it.
I can't tell which." He laughed bitterly. "I thought if I stayed alone it would stop, but then you showed up." Silence stretched between them. "You're saying if I walk in there," Lena began, "you won't come back." She stared at him. Then, slowly, she smiled. "That's a really elaborate way to scare someone off." "I wish it was just that." "Elias," she said gently, stepping closer, "I know you're dealing with something, but this," she shook her head, "you don't trap people, you don't destroy them, you're not some curse." His expression broke just slightly. "You don't understand." "Then make me understand." "I can't." "Then I'll find out myself." Before he could stop her, Lena stepped past him, into the house. At first, nothing happened. The interior was dim but not threatening. Dusty furniture, faded wallpaper, the quiet creak of old wood. Lena turned back, half expecting Elias to say, "I told you so." But he wasn't looking at her. He was looking at the door, which had just closed on its own. The air shifted, heavier, colder. "Lena," Elias's voice wavered. "I'm sorry." "Why are you apologizing?" He didn't answer. Instead, the walls began to move, not visibly, but subtly, like the house was breathing. The floor creaked beneath Lena's feet, each step echoing too loudly. "Okay, not funny anymore," she said, forcing a laugh. "Open the door." Elias didn't move. "Elias!" "I can't." "Stop saying that." His voice cracked. "I told you what would happen." Panic crept in, slow but certain. Lena rushed to the door, grabbing the handle. It didn't budge. "Open it." "I don't control it." "Then who does?" Silence. Then, quietly, "You do." Lena froze. "What?" "The house doesn't take people randomly," Elias said. "It takes people who love me, and it gives them a choice." "A choice to what?" "To stay." Her grip tightened on the handle. "Why would anyone choose that?" Elias met her eyes, something unreadable in his expression. "Because leaving means forgetting me completely." The words landed like a shock. "What?" "You won't just walk away," he said. "You'll lose every memory of me, every feeling, every moment." "That's insane." "Is it?" Lena's mind raced. "That's not a choice. That's manipulation." "Maybe," Elias admitted, "but it works." Her chest tightened. "And if I stay?" His voice dropped to almost nothing. "You become part of the house." A long pause. "Alive," he added quickly, "but not really living, just here." Lena laughed, but it sounded wrong, strained. "So those stories, the people who never left, they chose to stay." "Why would they do that?" Elias didn't answer. He didn't have to. The house seemed to listen, waiting. Lena turned back to the door. Her reflection shifted slightly, and for the first time she noticed something behind it. Not a reflection, a memory. Elias, standing at the gate, watching her, waiting. She exhaled slowly. "I see now," she whispered. "See what?" Elias's voice was barely audible. She looked at him, really looked, not as the boy she fell for, but as something else, something older, something practiced. "The house doesn't feed on love," she said. "It feeds on you." For the first time, Elias looked afraid.
You don't bring people here because you're cursed, she continued. You bring them because you don't want to be alone. That's not true. Then let me leave. Silence. Let me forget you. His expression twisted. I can't. You won't. The house groaned, as if it agreed. Lena turned back to the door. I took a step toward the door, then another. Each step felt heavier, but not impossible. Elias didn't move, didn't stop her, didn't help her. At the door she paused. Goodbye, Elias. His voice broke. You won't remember me. I know. A beat. Maybe that's the point. She turned the handle.